Bitcoin is in a critical moment right now because we have come back down to retest an area that used to be resistance, and we could be ready to flip it into support. Now, the preliminary signs from what I'm seeing are not good, and I want to break down for you exactly what I am seeing on this chart, show you how I think we still have a chance at rising higher, but why we've blown a lot of our chances already. And this is actually one of the key things that puts us in a really tricky position, but I'm going to get to all of that in just a little bit. If you've been subscribed to this channel for a little while, you're going to know that I've been watching the 43 and 42k levels. We failed the first one and we're now testing the second at 42, and I do still have some support levels a little bit lower down if Bitcoin does continue to drop, but you know, that next level is going to be 40 just with this previous red line right here that used to be support. It's the very same line that I have on this chart as well. This is something that I think Bitcoin could end up using as support, you know, potentially dropping down over here and then maybe recontinuing, you know, resuming that uptrend. But look, the more of these levels we lose, the worse it's getting, in my opinion. And you know what I don't like about this is that we have now fallen into quite a few significant reversal zones that we could have used as reversals, and we haven't. And that's never really a good sign, right? For me, you know, what I was seeing on this chart, these were the reversal zones right here. It was between 44 and 46. We did actually trigger a short-term reversal to the upside, but we didn't really get to make much good use of it, and we've ended up continuing to tumble lower. And you know, obviously 43, we did get a small bounce, but again, just nothing significant. And we're seeing similar signs for the 42k area right now. So we're just not making good use of these support levels. But here's something that is happening at the same time. If we take a look at the fear and greed index, remember how I was talking about if it drops by a lot, I'm probably going to start getting a little bit more bullish again? Here you go. We're at a reading of 30. From yesterday, we were at 37, and the day before that, we were at 34. So we've dropped quite firmly into fearful territory, just on the brink of extreme fear on this index right now. That's pretty quick, right? That is a pretty quick shift, and I do like seeing that, and for that reason I want to stay open-minded here. A lot of people are starting to get scared, a lot of people are in underwater long positions and so on. I want to stay rational here and look at the facts, right? And the facts are this, that we still have support. We failed most of it, and just to recap you guys on these kind of support areas that we have failed, here's the 4-hour Ichimoku cloud. We have unfortunately failed it, and it's now also flipped into resistance. We're going to encounter that resistance within 6 days if nothing changes, so that's not a good sign. But yes, we have failed that 4-hour Ichimoku resistance on the daily time frame with our EMA ribbon. We've also failed the support there. This was quite a significant area of support, and so these are not good signs. The questions really now are, is this a fake out where the market, you know, kind of temporarily for a day, a couple of days, stays weak below these levels, but then it shoots right back up? Or, well, you know, maybe it's been enough time, and if we were gonna recover, we would have recovered by now. That's kind of the question to be considering right now in this market, and that's why this is such a critical moment in this market. I do feel like Bitcoin is hanging on to its very last chance, but if you guys remember the slider I was talking about where, you know, this side is bullish and this side is bearish, we kind of keep inching towards the bearish side with each support level that we're losing. And this one is, in my opinion, one of the more important ones, and I'll tell you why, right? The reason I'm looking at this red line as being one of the more important lines for Bitcoin is purely because we were using it as resistance quite consistently during this kind of consolidation right here. We're on the 12-hour time frame right now, just because it's simple and easy to use for this analysis. And I mean, as you can see from, you know, basically before Bitcoin even entered this, you know, 40-30k range, we were already finding resistance from this line. We got a huge rejection right here, which triggered a quite substantial 25% drop, and then the next time around from high to low, a 17% drop, and then finally a much smaller, only 3% drop, but certainly a resistance line that has been playing on the market a little bit, and for quite a while. This is an 82-day resistance level. We've been using it for 82 days, and it's been in action, so to speak, for about 100 days, right? And when we've got such a large time frame line, which has triggered such strong reversals, right, like these over here, I am inclined to believe that it's going to function as support. It doesn't mean it will, right? This is something that I think a lot of people miss, and I'm just going to blow up my camera here to go on a little bit of a rant about this. And by the way, guys, if you're enjoying this video so far, do me a favor and smash up the likes on this YouTube video as well for what I'm about to say as well, because I think that a lot of people don't view these markets as probabilities. I'm saying that I think there's a high chance that we're going to be able to use this level as support, but that doesn't mean we're guaranteed to, and it doesn't mean that if we use it as support that we're going to get a huge blast up. It might just mean a $200 pump, or it might mean a $6,000 pump, or it might mean a $50,000 pump. I don't know, but it's a support level, and I do believe that we should be able to use it at least a little bit. And here's the bad news, is we've used it a little bit by now. We have actually used this area as support. And if we zoom in onto, for example, a 1 hour time frame, we can start to get a slightly better view of it. And I know that it's not perfect, but keep in mind that you can draw these lines quite differently to fit your narrative. And I don't want to change it. I think the bottom line is, look, I mean, you can see that this was a kind of bounce zone, and shit, it's like $50 off. It doesn't matter. It's not even 50. I mean, it's obviously, yeah, it's 92. I mean, it's nothing. That's just a margin of error with poor drawing skills, really, which is totally fine. We have gotten our support bounce, and the reason that's significant is, see, the last time we bounced off my key support level on this chart, take a look at this at 43,000, we also didn't get a big bounce. We did get a bounce. I was saying that we would probably get a bounce, but if we measure this from low to high, it's only a 3% move, or from my line to the high, it's a 2.2% move, right? So that wasn't very much. And again, from my line over here, by the way, I haven't moved these lines. The analysis just literally was this accurate, which is very, very impressive. And by the way, for those of you who missed it, I don't know how, because I brag about it a lot, but it's an Ethereum trade I was in, absolutely smashed it out of the park. It's the most recent big win that I've had, but it's not on this list for some reason. That's really strange. I did ask my team to put it on the list, but it's not on the list. This trade ended up closing in just over a 200% profit for the maximum gain that I saw, but I was closing a lot of profits on the way up. I opened this position at this yellow line right here, closed it right at the top, and you can see exactly what happened after that. It was very, very impressive, because not only was I able to open the position at the very bottom, I was also able to close it at the very top, and then the dump happened. So there you go, some very, very cool analysis right there, all going on inside of 𝗬𝗪fly's VIP. It's very active right now in there, and if you want to jump inside to make sure you're not missing out on what's going on, we're still running a more than half price discount on VIP. So if you've been waiting for a while, you're unsure, you just want to find out what the steps are to join and what you're getting, what you're missing out on, then you can do that by following these steps on screen right now. Just click on the first link in the description down below. That'll take you to our free Telegram channel called 𝗬𝗪fly's Gold. That's where you get even more stuff from myself, from my team around the clock. If you like this free stuff, you're going to get even more of it in this channel for free. Then click on my name at the bottom of any post and then send message. These 3 clicks, these 3 red boxes will take you less than 30 seconds. Ask me how to join, put you in a direct chat with me. You can ask me any questions you have as well, and I will get back to you. And if I can't, one of my assistants will. So definitely follow those steps if you are interested to get that discount as well, because that is a limited time offer. But here we go back to the charts. The reason that I'm still keen on watching this play out is because, well, I think that if the market lost this area of support, it would we would have to drop by quite a bit more, right? I mean, if we look at this kind of horizontal level, if I just drop a green line right here to illustrate, kind of what we're working with right here, there's not really any significant trading that happens between this green line and, say, this green line, right? I mean, this is pretty clear. You don't need to be in the markets for a long time to be able to understand what I'm saying here. Usually the market just kind of zips all the way between these ranges, right? We're not really spending much time between these 2 green lines. We're usually just going all the way up or all the way down. And these make, things like this, that they produce really nice trading ranges, right? As a trader, this is like the wet dream, because, this is quite a nice 5% range. You leverage that up 10 times and you're looking at a potential gain of 10 times profit. If you're saying that perhaps, 50% profit, not 10 times, my God, 50%. Where if you speculate that if Bitcoin fails this green line, it's probably going to drop down to the next one, which I think is very likely. That's a pretty nice 50%, maybe after the marginal 40% gain, but it's still pretty good, right? For a trader, that's nice. But as someone that's holding the coin, that's a warning sign. That's a warning sign that if we lose this area of support, there is quite a substantial drop down, and that's before we even consider the bearish momentum that we might pick up on the way, or the extreme fear. And one of the things I want to remind you guys about is that even though I use this as a contrarian indicator, at the end of the day, when the market really starts dropping down massively, people are not feeling greedy, right? People are going to be feeling fearful, and that's actually what pushes the market down, because if everyone's feeling fearful, everyone's going to be selling their Bitcoin. Naturally, that is going to drive the price down. It's an interesting kind of balance you have to strike between, on one side, being a contrarian, and on the other side, being realistic, because if everyone is scared, they're going to be selling, the price is inevitably going to drop down. But on the flip side, if everyone is bullish, like when Bitcoin first broke $20,000 at the end of 2020, well, guess what? People are going to be really bullish and the price is going to rise up. So being a contrarian isn't always the right thing to be. And one of the things I want to remind you guys about is when we fail key levels, when we look at big drops, that's where the really, really quick movements in the market can happen. And this is a level to pay attention to. If we do fail this level, my concern is that we would probably pick up a little bit of bearish momentum, and because of that, we might be looking at dropping substantially lower. I would see the bottom of the support range being around kind of 37, and then we're down to the kind of mid to low 30s, which I don't want to talk about yet because that's still like $10,000 away. And I mean, a lot of things can happen in that time, but do be aware of it. Don't be surprised by this if we end up dropping down to these areas. But just focusing our attention back on this support area, because this is what we're still playing with at the moment. It does still look like quite a typical nice move up, followed by a very healthy correction within that classic staircase pattern setup, and then a move up. Obviously, we've got to initiate that move very quickly, and it's almost going to have to be something out of manipulation, in my opinion, because if we were going to bounce, we probably should have by now. We've been at the support level for enough time, in my opinion, to find that bounce. Take a look at this. If we measure this with time, we've been here for a day. Let's actually measure it a little bit more accurately using the hourly time frame. Yeah, we've been trading around here for 22 hours, so it's time to do something. It's time to pull something out of the bag if we're gonna do something, right? I mean, I need to see that happening quickly, because I'm it's not a good place in the market, that's for sure. One of the things that I want to do is actually just draw a Fibonacci retracement and show you where some of these key levels are. So we've got that 618 golden Fibonacci retracement level down at 41,650. So it's not actually very far away, only about 2% lower from where we are right now, potentially looking at a little bit of a fake out, and then bam, we get to maybe blast off. That's why I'm saying this is kind of like the last chance, because if Bitcoin does fail it, I'm looking at a much bigger drop for it. If I draw this out a little bit more to previous bottoms in this market, we have failed the 382, but we are we've actually there's no but, it's a pretty bad place. And then if I draw it from here, there's only two correct ways to draw this, in my opinion. The first one is like this, where we're at the 382 level, and this is actually a great sign of hope. Being at the 382 level is very important, because again, if you've been watching this channel for a while and you're hitting up those likes and subscribed, you're going to know that the 382 level is actually the mirror of the 618 level, and like I said, this is the golden retracement number. If you don't understand what I'm talking about here, this is all about the Fibonacci tool. It's a very, very useful tool. I recommend that you YouTube search it, Google search it, whatever, to learn a little bit about it. Or if you want to learn it from me, this is all inside of the 𝗧𝗢𝗡𝗏 Academy courses that you're going to get for free, depending on which plan you take inside of VIP. And again, just want to stress that that over 50% discount they're giving you, where you get more than half price off, which is one of the biggest offers we've ever ran, by the way. In that, you're also going to be getting some free time on top of your membership, regardless of which plan you take. Yearly members are going to get 2 months free, along with free phone calls with me as well. So huge offers there. You're getting more time, you're paying less, you're getting free access into the Advanced Academy, or regular 𝗧𝗢𝗏 Academy, where I teach you absolutely everything I know about trading from A to Z. It is super in-depth. It is the best way to tackle these markets right now, if you're curious about it. And you can bang through this stuff fairly quickly. I mean, the way it's made, you can, if you want to, just down a bunch of coffee in 2 days and you're done, and you'll be up to speed. I mean, I wouldn't recommend it, but people have certainly done it before, and it's worked out. So 382 level, definitely important in my opinion. Definitely something to watch for. The second key way to draw this correctly, in my opinion, is going to be like this. And in both instances, we're close enough to support levels right now. We are close enough. to be something relatively significant in my opinion. So look, I'm just putting that out there. The Fibonacci retracement tool is usually pretty damn reliable, especially actually drawn this way. I really like this particular chart. I think it looks really healthy. Not only that, but if I actually draw this on a different chart where I don't have any lines, it's going to be a little bit clearer to see what I'm looking at. I know that I have boxes here, but they're at least not lines. You're gonna notice something pretty healthy here in my opinion, which is that, you know, the 618 level is respected very well as well. The 236 level, my goodness, has been respected very well as well. The 0.5 level, yeah, been used a little bit, and the 786 level. The reason I'm pointing this stuff out to you is when I'm evaluating if I've drawn a Fibonacci retracement correctly, one of the key things I'm looking for is, have we interacted well with the 618 level? Have we interacted well with the 382, the 236, every key level here? Have we shown that this market is respecting this particular chart? And the answer is yes. And so, you know, if we are potentially, you know, coming down to this level of support now, given that we've respected it quite consistently in the past, even as support right here off the very same level, that is a sign that actually, you know, we could be in a pretty good spot. And I just want to, you know, bring this to your attention. The last time we found support off this level, Bitcoin actually did consolidate here for quite a while before finally making a move up. Let's measure this. Bitcoin was here for 3 days sideways before it ended up moving up, and unfortunately that move up wasn't actually very large. Let's measure this from low to high. That was only a 7% move to the upside. It peaked at about $45,000, and that's actually one of the concerns I have with this chart that I have to bring up with you guys, is that even if we do rise up now, and this is where again you're noticing we're moving closer to that bearish side on my imaginary slider. You know, the issue that I'm seeing coming up here for the market now is that if we do end up rising up, we might have resistance up ahead. You know, we have had resistance from that $46,000, you know, kind of range, this yellow box. I mean, this is a resistance range now that we're below it. And guys, I hate to break it to you, but we've already used it as resistance right here. It's a little bit more clear on this chart, where you can see this green box. Yeah, we've already tested this level and we've already turned it into resistance. So we're not doing well in that way, in my opinion. That is, again, something to keep in mind. Now, is that going to be a huge obstacle for Bitcoin? I don't think so. I think that if we initiate a move up from here, we should be able to keep those gains. I don't see why Bitcoin would suffer too much. It's actually a little bit more clear on this chart, where you can see that actually we got rejected bang on at the 44K area, by the way. So this is real confirmation that this area has now turned into resistance. But I just feel like, you know, if we mount another attack now, things should be fine. And this is the thing, is we're still in that space where Bitcoin can recover this, but there's a lot of things that it's done pretty poorly. And you honestly, I mean, you've got to ask the question, if we have faked out below support areas like this beautiful Ichimoku cloud on the 4-hour time frame, if we have faked out below it, how long are we going to stay below it? Because we've been below it now for, on this chart, 28 hours. We've been below it for 28 hours, you know, 24 to 28 hours. And shit, how lenient are you going to be? Because usually a fake out, I mean, we're talking a few hours max, a day max. We're already there. We're already at, you know, like, fake outs don't usually last super long. So I don't know, the longer it goes, the more you got to start wondering, shit, maybe we've broken. Maybe this was a breakout and it was a bearish breakout, and we need to prepare accordingly. And that's kind of the situation to weigh up. Now again, because the fear and greed index is so low, and because I'm kind of sensing that sentiment shifting a lot more to the bearish side while we're still at support levels, I'm inclined to believe that we're still going to be able to rise up. And that's where my bias stays at the moment. Obviously, I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible, but I'm still mainly looking for long positions in this market. If we look at other currencies, you know, Ethereum has continued to massively outperform Bitcoin. Take a look at this right here, just continuing to rise up from its recent highs that it established towards the beginning of this month on the 5th of April and so on. You know, performing relatively well. Ethereum is still in its key support area. It's still within its 4-hour Ichimoku cloud. And if we look at other coins as well, you know, a lot of these other coins are still at their crucial support areas. This is Cardano, again, with its very same 4-hour Ichimoku cloud, still not broken below its level, still holding support right here. in this green box. If we look at other coins like Luna, for example, which has obviously performed spectacularly well, it has broken that $100 level, but I think that it should be able to capture support relatively soon. Its rally was very, very strong, so you can't be too surprised by the fact that it has broken that $100 level, but it's still not in extreme like dumpage territory, right? It's not actually that scary, and I don't think it would be unless it lost kind of like 83, because then I'm not seeing any real support for quite a long time. But for now, I mean, the obvious long idea to go long at $100 is off the table, but I think some new opportunities could be ready to present themselves. I mean, this is generally how the market goes, where it gives us a lot of opportunities completely unexpectedly. Some people who are prepared are able to make money. Obviously, we crushed it with Ethereum right here, which was, again, very, very impressive. Steps are on screen if you want to jump inside and take advantage of that huge discount we're running. But once the market gives you those opportunities, it cools off, it scares people a little bit, and then again it gives you these opportunities again. And if you're tuned into it, if you're watching it carefully, if you know what to look for, you're going to be able to jump on those things. And obviously that's what we're aiming to do again inside of VIP, to crush these markets yet again. I'm still seeing these opportunities across the board. They're very, very attractive. I don't think it's time yet, but I am getting very close to formulating those. And of course, I'm going to tell VIPs what I'm doing, just like I did with the Ethereum trade. I'm going to tell them, what coins I'm looking at, where I'm going to be entering them, what's stopping me from entering them right now. I've already been sharing this information in there, but I haven't actually committed to a trade yet. As soon as I do, that's going straight into VIP, along with the real-time updates on how those trades are doing as well. So there's a lot going on behind those closed doors, and this is the only way to join. Don't bother searching me up on Telegram. There's way too many impersonators. People have been scammed, so please don't do that. Obviously, I shouldn't have to say this, it's 2022, but don't pay attention to the comments either. There's a lot of scammers in there. I cannot ban them quicker than they make new accounts. I don't know, they're in click factories or something. It's just impossible to stay on top of it. But yes, there you go. This is the only way to join. And of course, just every page that I link on this YouTube channel is legit, right? Anything you find outside from Google or whatever, those are not going to be legit pages. So please keep that in mind. For myself, for every other YouTuber you watch, only use the links in our descriptions if you want to reach the real people. There you go. These are the steps on screen. If you want to trade on the very same platform I'm using, you already know the deal. I'm using Bybit. Check it out with the link in the description down below. This is by far my favorite exchange. Been using them for years. Absolutely love them to bits. And when you sign up using my link in the description down below, you're going to be getting some free cash deposited into your account as a thank you for using my sign up link in the description down below. So if you like getting free money, if you want to get paid to do fuck all, just sign up and deposit some funds and then take your free money. Then you can do that by following the link in the description down below. Obviously, check out the exchange and use it as well if you're interested. I don't think you're going to go back to anything else after you try Bybit. So definitely do check it out with that link down below. But with that, yeah, there are the VIP steps. Again, just want to highlight this amazing testimonial we got relatively recently from this yearly VIP member who managed to pay off his subscription fee within less than a day of joining. So that puts him straight into our Hall of Fame. We have a Hall of Fame of people who've managed to pay off their fee within 24 hours of joining. And this person has gone in there with his yearly membership. So very, very impressive stuff, to say the least. Definitely do take advantage of this discount if you've been on the fence for a little while, or if you just want to find out what's going on, then now's your time, with a beautiful, beautiful price to get inside as well. So I really hope you have enjoyed this video. You know what to do. If you have, smash up the likes, subscribe, tick the bell. I know you guys have been asking for a different background, so here I am. You're not looking at a blank wall anymore. I actually prefer it when the background is plain. I don't like seeing stuff in the background, but I don't know about you guys. I might change it up again. I'm not sure yet. I haven't made my mind up on any of this stuff yet. But yeah, there you go. Hope you've enjoyed this one, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.